Hi there, welcome to the latest episode of my 10-minute moan, and the topic of this 10-minute moan is even more explosions in Lebanon today, the day after the pagers all blew up. Now what we're hearing now from Lebanon is there's been even more explosions today, but today's explosions seem to be attacking walkie-talkies and different new devices. Now, there's all different newspapers with slightly different things reported, but CBS News seemed to have a source giving them more clear details than others. And their headline is, excuse me, new device explosions reported in Lebanon a day after Hezbollah pagers explode. Beirut Lebanon, a source close to Lebanon's Hezbollah group said walkie-talkies used by the group members exploded in its Beirut stronghold on Wednesday. That's today, with state media reporting similar blasts of pagers and devices in East and South Lebanon. The reports came a day after thousands of pagers carried by Hezbollah members exploded, nearly simultaneously, killing at least 12, including 2 children, according to Lebanon's public health ministers. A number of walkie-talkies exploded in Beirut's southern suburbs, the source said, with Hezbollah-affiliated rescuers confirming devices had exploded inside 2 cars in the area. The Associated Press cited Lebanon's health ministry as saying more than 100 people were wounded by exploding electronic devices in various parts of the country today. Lebanon's state-run national news agency said pagers and devices had also exploded in Hezbollah strongholds in the east and south, with AFP correspondents also reporting hearing explosions. Israeli officials have issued no public comments on the blasts in Lebanon, but a US official told the AP, Associated Press, on Tuesday that Israeli authorities had briefed American officials on the operation after Tuesday's pager explosions. Lebanese officials and Hezbollah quickly blamed Israel for the widespread attack on Tuesday, and the Iranian-backed Hezbollah has vowed to take revenge. A spokesman for the US military and Secretary of State Antony Blinken has said the US had no prior knowledge of any plans to detonate communication devices in Lebanon and no role in the operation. Taiwanese company Gold Apollo said on Wednesday that it had authorised the use of its trademark branding on the pagers that exploded on Tuesday, but it said the devices carried by Hezbollah members were manufactured and sold by BAC Consulting, a company based in Budapest, Hungary. Gold Apollo founder and CEO told NPR News Wednesday that there was nothing in those devices that we had manufactured or exported to them. CBS has asked BAC Consulting where and how its devices are manufactured and sold, but has not received any reply either over the phone or via email. Responding to CBS News in text, the Hungarian Prime Minister spokesperson said the Hungarian leader's office had no knowledge or information on the matter. In social media posts later on Wednesday, Kovacs, he's the Prime Minister in Hungary, described BAC Consulting as a trading intermediary with no manufacturing or operational site in Hungary, adding that the company has one manager registered at its declared address and the reference devices have never been in Hungary. It remains unclear exactly how many pagers blew up on Tuesday, but a senior Lebanese security official and another source told Reuters news agency that Israel's Mossad intelligence agency had planted a small amount of explosives inside 5,000 devices, which it said had been ordered by Hezbollah just months before the blast. The AP and the New York Times, citing unnamed US officials, also said the pagers detonated on Tuesday had small amounts of explosives inside them, along with embedded switches that could be detonated remotely. The Times said the devices carried as little as 1 or 2 ounces of explosives embedded next to their batteries. Citing Lebanese officials, the newspaper said the affected pagers received a message at 3:30 local time that appeared to have come from Hezbollah leadership, but which activated the explosives. Let her carry on, right? Now, just that thing that gets me, right? I wouldn't imagine every single foot soldier in Hezbollah would get a pager. I would imagine that that would be some way up the hierarchy system before you would need a pager. But for them now to be saying there was 5,000 of them, what size is Hezbollah? This is incredible. So it seems that they've done pagers and walkie-talkies, because months ago Hezbollah had decided they wouldn't use smartphones anymore because there was a fear that Israeli forces Mossad had gained access to their smartphones. So they went with pagers. They were just out the game yesterday. So now they've went and started using walkie-talkies today, and for some reason they managed to do the same with them. Now a lot of people are getting a bit upset by this, but my logic and common sense, applying those both to it, say, well, Hezbollah have been attacking and have threatened to attack Israel further. So if they're going to, retaliate early, they could do what they've been doing in Gaza, and that's carpet bomb the place, which lets the world moan at them about, the collateral damage that's going to happen. So some people are still moaning that these methods are barbaric, but it's very, you couldn't argue a more targeted way of taking out terrorists that are intent in coming after your state. So, I don't have a big love for any violence. I don't, but if this is how you're going to retaliate and early retaliate at that, I don't really know what more specific and targeted ways you can attack people. It's just like, I think it's actually quite clever, because unfortunately we have heard, and they're unsubstantiated, but there are claims that 2 children, obviously civilians, have died in these attacks, and we've all seen footage of them. The explosions were quite small. You would think someone more than 2-3 feet away would be practically no chance of being killed. And the fact that out of 5,000 there's only a dozen people being killed, I find it very odd that children would be, unless they had the pagers on them, unless Hezbollah have children they've given these pagers to. I struggle to understand how, if the pager was on someone else, when there's only 12 people out of 5,000 being killed, how that could actually kill someone who wasn't holding the pager. So I think it'd be interesting to find out more about what has actually happened in the instances where it's claimed that civilians and indeed children have been murdered in this attack, and hopefully they are unsubstantiated and untrue. And if they are true, then I think the world deserves to know a wee bit more about those instances, because if Hezbollah have got children with pagers, then what kind of people are these? And I do find it hard to understand how a bystander could be killed when there isn't actually that many people being killed, when you consider that Reuters are now saying there's 5,000 devices exploded. To have 12 murdered from that is quite low. Anyway, interesting story, and it still is developing, but if you're in the Middle East and you've got a walkie-talkie or a pager, I kind of put it somewhere safe just now. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up. If you've not already done so, please consider subscribing and hitting the notifications bell. Put your comments in the messages in the comments below. I always enjoy those. But most importantly of all, unless you're a terrorist intent on damaging other people's countries and population, not you, but
everyone else, have a great day. Cheerio, bye now.